Okay, look, I know I don't need Pyllis here, but hey, waifu. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's the reason why. So anyway, we're going into an Aria team. Those are actually kind of rare, but they do exist. So we're going to go into Aria, Conqueror Lilias, and a Politis team, and ultimately, I'm just going to go full anti-counter with this. And the way in which you do that is you can use Lionheart, Cermia, and Roana. And when I said I don't need Shadow Knight Pyllis here, this is where I'm saying I could have honestly just brought LRK. Like, LRK would have been fine here. Because whenever it happens, we're going to be just getting hit with so many AoEs like crazy. Like, your LRK is going to get cooled down super fast. Like, this right here counts as one. Like, if you were to bring LRK, hey, Shazam. you're just zooming. But, yeah, the reason why, like, Shadow Knight Pyllis also works, though, is, hey, you have a unit that can be the proper bait for Conqueror Lilias, and you're basically only fighting Aria and Politis. The Politis, I'm assuming, is on some damage, but, like, I mean, I have just a lot of safety on this team in general anyway. Like, nothing's really going to matter, because all of the extra hits, just because Politis is there, I'm pretty much never going to leave, like, 80% HP. It's just not going to happen. So, if you wanted to fight Aria another way, you could very well easily fight this kind of same team with, like, a Solitaria on the team, because as long as Solitaria is around, Aria is about as useful as Lua into heavy effect resist. Basically, she does fucking nothing. But, and the reason for that is just because Solitaria completely negates, like, all focus gained, and if Aria can't gain focus, then she really can't do much of anything. And if you have, like, the countermeasure of Roana there with you, like, those piddly little counterattack hits are going to basically just heal you constantly, because Aria's not, like, a heavy hitter. She's like this War of Attrition type unit. And because of her being a War of Attrition type of unit, if you have, like, a very proper, like, counter aesthetic to go into her, she's really almost a non-threat. If anything, she helps you more than she can hurt you. So this one in particular is on Fairy Tale for a Nightmare. Fairy Tale for a Nightmare is actually not a bad idea, because, like, every single counterattack, every single, like, out of her turn attack that's going to be starting to happen, that basically results in just free damage that goes into you. So, like, yeah, that's actually, like, kind of legit. It's good. But, like, I mean, her own artifact is also kind of decent, but it's only really decent if you have a lot of crit damage and a lot of defense, because she scales off defense. So that's the main thing that you're kind of dealing with there. So ultimately you're seeing just in this fight in general, like, yeah, Roana and Lionheart just completely solo it, and Pyllis is really just there to negate the damage that all the counterattacks going in do. But like I said, you could easily sub Pyllis out for LRK, and it would work just fine. Now, here we're going to be utilizing Shuna and Destina for safety, and Dark Corvus. Now, this is going into ae-KARINA, Mercedes, and Savior Adin. So, the all-in-all general strategy, because I'm rocking Proof of Valor on Corvus, I'm pretty much un-one-shottable by Savior Adin. But whenever, like, I haven't done enough testing on it, because I recently just built a green Armin to use, and I think with Armin on the team as well, they don't overlap in terms of damage mitigation. So I could honestly switch the artifact for Dark Corvus if I wanted to utilize Green Armin. And by the by, one thing that you just saw right there, that Karina is on easily plus 100 something effectiveness. Like, easily. Could easily be like 110, 120, who fucking knows at this point. Because, like, I think my Shuna is somewhere around, like, the 130, 140 something range, and then also rocking, wow, what is her name? Whatever, it's Unfading Memories. That basically gives you 25% effect resist. And ultimately, hey, we're doing really good in terms of healing, so I decide to go for Mercedes. This is ultimately, if you're going for, like, speedrun tech, not the actual correct decision to go for. If anything, the one unit that I really do need to kill is actually Karina. Now, the main reason why, now this is if you want to get into, like, really stickler dumb shit, but basically Karina is only going to go into Shuna, and at one point, the Karina actually does very impressive damage. You're going to see it here in a little bit. I think this is actually the one right here, because every time she has threes, she happens to just get that death break. Hey, lucky me. Holy fucking shit, that did a lot of damage. So, in either way, she is the actual threat. But with this right here, I'm able to totally, completely recover from that situation because Dark Corvus has an immense amount of health, so the health redistribution actually helps everyone. And then the Unfading Memories just, gives you a little bit of extra health. It's really, really handy. Like, she's really great to use. She just has, like, some pretty high stat requirement. Like, if I could, in all honesty, I would rather give my Shuna a effect resist ring instead of a health ring. It's just, I just don't have the time to really get it right now. But yeah, like right here, I decided to go for Savior Adin, because ultimately, hey, that's a Karina. She has to kill Shuna to even hit anyone else, and also Dark Corvus has Provoke. So I ultimately decide, this Karina probably ain't got no fucking effect resist, and I was absolutely correct. So all those other times, like if anything is not happening, that's straight up just 15%. But, and that was also why I didn't S3 again on Shuna, is because I want her to hit my Dark Corvus just to speed this shit up. And ultimately, because you guys see like the situation that I'm in right here, the Karina cannot win. So we're going to actually speed up here in just a little bit. Like, right here, we'll skip a few turns. And now we can just one-tap the Karina. So, that was basically all that was. It was like a nice little attempt at using Shuna. Shuna is actually a lot of fun. She's just, she's a little stat hungry. She's pretty easy to hit high thresholds of effect resist, but it's also hard to hit those levels of bulk so you truly feel safe. Now check this shit out. We're going into a Ran, Mercedes, and Zio comp, and the speeds all work just dandy. So, Zio goes first, goes into Sinful Angelica. She's the front of the CR bar, so she takes the brunt of the hit. Now, this hit right here hits into Sinful Angelica as well. This kills her. And we get RNL because fuck this game. Now, right here, Mercedes kills Zahhak. Now, keep an eye on where they were on their CR bars. Well, you just triggered my trap card. I'm going to go ahead and revive right here with Destina. Then, who's at the front of that should still be Sinful Angelica. Thankfully, she still was. Now, we S3 with that. Now, all we have to do is kill Mercedes, and pretty much this fight's already over. Now, we get attack buff from Senji, so we don't have to use S2, we can just go into S3. So, we go into Mercedes, one-tap her, because Zahhak is an incredibly based individual, and then, all we have to do now is use a... So right here is where some more fucking dumb shit happens, because Ran is a completely fair and balanced character. He hits my Zahhak. Thankfully, speed and attack are the only attacks there, so, like, he didn't strip invincibility. Didn't matter, though, because Zio would only hit Angelica because she was at 1 HP. That's just how it works. So then I boost Zahhak, so he gets the first turn over Sinful Angelica. I'll use the S2 to boost his attack again, and then I will soul burn S1 into Zio because he has buffs, will take a shitload of damage, and then I will dual attack with Angelica right here, and that's the game. Boy, that's fun shit, isn't it? Now, right here, this is honest to God a mistake. So for starters, we're fighting Winter, and we lose the 50-50. So she had two choices. She was either going to hit Arunka or she was going to hit Roana. And because of that, now, like, Arunka's in this, like, horrible, shitty state. Now, thankfully, she didn't get stunned. However, I was not paying attention in the slightest. I thought she was going to get stunned, so then it would be Pyllis' turn. So, this attack you're seeing right here was a complete, total fucking accident. Now, thankfully, it all worked out. But that was a complete, total accident. So the reason why I'm S3ing on Pyllis, even though it would do almost nothing to the enemy, is strictly just for barrier. That's all that's for. Just because, like, we're getting hit pretty hard, like, right here, so we just want to, get the barrier, just to make sure that Pyllis doesn't die. Now, then I was like, I don't need to S3 yet, let's just S1, and then, cool, we get a dual attack, and, oh, cool, that's a crit, and, holy fucking shit, we almost died. So if she didn't miss that other attack, Arunka would have been dead. So this match can very categorically be described as, wow, we're just going in and dodging all kinds of bullets. It's like, we're just getting shot at numerous times by a bunch of really dumb shit, and we're dodging it like we have fucking Ultra Instinct or some shit. But either way, we still don't have the HP difference for Winter to go into Roana like we want to. So the target is still Arunka. We have, you know, res buff, or like the res buff that Roana gives. So even if she was to kill me, I would still come back. Whatever, big deal. This attack right here on Choux is going to kill her. So now all we have left is I Winter. So yeah, she can't win at this point. It's possible that she could still kill Arunka, but like I Winters never have any damage on them because she's quite strictly just she's a hero that just does utility support kind of shit, because that's all she really does, which is why like I see a lot of I Winters with Alabastrian now. But I mean, hey, secret art is actually also a possibility that they can sometimes have. You never know. But, like, that's basically what, like, I Winter's goal is. If you have, like, a very proper green bait of any kind, then you can kind of ignore her. Which is usually why anytime I go into her, I'll go in with Roana and I'll just spam S1s until I see an opportunity to use S3. I really have nothing to fear from her. Now, hey, man, what Guild War isn't it without some Lua horse shit? So, this is Mercedes, Lua, and Senya. So it's very, very basic. It's going to be a Christy Senya Choux. I mean, it's going to be a Christy Shadow Knight Pyllis Roana. So just like, you know, some CRP. And the only thing that we really even have to worry about right now is basically just Mercedes. Now, one thing in particular that I absolutely do not notice in the slightest is I have no clue what artifact that Lua is rocking. Like at all, because it's not Guiding Light and it's not Spatio-Temporal Fan. If anything, it could actually be possible that she doesn't have an artifact, or it could be any of the other Ranger artifacts that focuses on either dual attacks or on if you were to kill a unit. I think that's Sasha's. I can't quite remember the name off the top of my head. I mean, it's possible that's what she has, but like all in all, I don't know. So ultimately, as soon as I kill this Mercedes, I can start getting to work on the Lua because, I mean, hey, she's not stealth, so you're free reign, girl. But hey, there's the first kill on Mercedes, and then I just go into her a little bit more. Because, like, seriously, this is the only threat. The other thing that's there is Senya, and Senya isn't really going to be a threat because she just doesn't deal enough damage to go into, like, a tank down kind of team that you bring to it. So the only other thing that's a threat is Lua oh, there it was! Okay, so I've been reviewing this footage forever, and I just now realized what it was. It was Glow Wings. That's a very, very interesting choice, I guess, to put on Lua, but, like, there's no real use in that. Especially not on Lua, because, like, what you want to do with Lua is you want to protect her at all costs. Like, you just want this unit to never, ever, ever be touched, ever. Just so she can do her effectiveness shit. But, of course, if you have an answer to Lua, that being either like a really good red bait like an Edward, or even Shuna. Shuna can actually work if you have enough effect resist. Or like even Dingo. Dingo's also an option. But like Dingo's kind of rough to bring into like a lot of the Lua meta comps because like then he'll just be one-tapped by any of the other units that are there. But like either way, you want your Lua to be safe so that she can just do her horse shit. And that's the main factor of like why Lua is super, super cancer. Because you can't really fight her many other ways outside of like a very few select number of units and ER, which is my number one reason why I think she's a stupid fucking character. Just like, your options of fighting it are so limited, it's retarded. Which is also why she's like banned in every single fucking RTA match. Nobody wants to fight that shit. Nobody. Nobody wants to. Period. Good job, SG. Great fucking character. But, either way, so this is a pretty typical Senya right here. Like, she's not running the S1E, so she's not gaining any HP back. So, yeah, she's really just hitting her face into a wall until she kills herself. That's basically it. So, hey, whenever we get the opportunity to use Pyllis again, we'll just kill her with a Rocket Punch, and then we'll be good to go. Oh boy, are you guys excited for the next match? And just all the coping that I have to do to explain my thought process? Boy, I'm ready for it. So, pretty typical setup. It's Conqueror, Lilias, Belian, and Spirit Eye Celine. Now, me, in my galactic fucking brain, somehow thought that Celine by herself could not beat Spirit Eye Celine, just like in a solo one-on-one. That's why Politis is here. And honestly, Politis doesn't even kill her. It's like, woohoo! You're fucking useful. But the other interesting thing as well is Politis did not strip the immunity from the Belian. So with that said, we also didn't get any stuns from Abyssal Crown. We didn't get any like cooldown or the buff reduction. So cool, Politis does fucking nothing. And then another fun little factoid is going into this. What the fuck is evasion, guys? What's evasion? So Celine's already been hit by 2 really, really devastating hits, and because of those 2 hits, oh cool, you dodge now. Whoop-de shit, you're almost dead. So, with that being said, now all we have left is Apocalypse Ravi to go into this team. And I'm just going to spoil it right now, we fucking lose, because it's an injury Belian. But now, what I could have done instead is I could have easily brought Last Rider Crow into this, even though I don't have Roana with me. It could have been a very, very effective test into going into an injury Belian that spams, because then you'll see like the effectiveness of Last Rider Crow's barrier going into this shit. I would have been able to see how effective if he was the true Belian counter that I was wanting him to be. But I mean, hey, we don't know. I'll try to find another Belian at some point to try this shit on. But the other thing I could have done is I could have also brought Inferno Kawazu. Inferno Kawazu would have absolutely destroyed this Belian because, I mean, hey, he would have been hit by a AoE attack, and then he would have had his S3, stripped the bitch, done numerous buffs, burns to her, and then either possibly killed her or put her at, like, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 HP or something. Something I could have very easily done. But, my explanation, I was retarded. So, that being said, that was the Guild War. Yay, don't you guys love going out with a fucking whimper? Like an idiot whenever you do Guild War? But either way, yeah, I got like 2 minutes just to wrap this video up. So, I'll bring up a topic real quick. I'm actually kind of interested to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions. I'm very curious, what type of content that you guys actually want from me. Now, I like doing this Guild War style content for one reason. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's actually very, very easy for me to record this footage. I do not have like a lot of space to start recording because I do all this stuff on an iPad. So that's where like RTA is kind of out of the question. That, and I actually fucking hate RTA. Like, it's no secret. I despise RTA. I think it's a very, very slow format, and I don't have fun with it. And you have to play it for hours and hours and hours if you want to get anywhere. But like, hey, that's neither here nor there. But, like, I'm actually just very curious. Like, I mean, hey, I read, like, every comment that you guys post. I read anything that y'all say. I like to get, like, advice here and there. Because, like, I mean, sometimes you guys come in and you just like, hey, you should have done this. Or, hey, you should try this. And it's like, hey, I always like to hear that kind of stuff. Because, like, hey, I ain't no fucking authority on Guild Wars. It's just the content that I produce. But, yeah, I'd be more than happy to hear, like, any of your takes. If you guys want me to try anything different in particular, I'd be more than happy to do that. I mean, hey, that's how I kind of got started. To those of you who may or may not know, I started all this stuff off of a friend of mine doing a support ticket to SG that I then read like an asshole in a dramatic reading. It is on my channel. You can look for it if you want to. It's pretty fucking stupid. But I did have a lot of fun with making that one a long-ass time ago. But, hey, either way, if you like this content, I would really appreciate it if you'd leave a like. It does wonders for my mental health. And if you want to see more of my content, go ahead and hit subscribe. I hope to see y'all again some other time. Later.